Hi, this is Mario with Mario's Math Tutoring. In this video, we're going to continue on with the 14-day video series on how to boost your score on the math portion of the ACT. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about proportions, and there's always a proportions question or two, okay, on the test, so it's good to understand how this works. So a proportion is basically a ratio equal to another ratio. A ratio, remember, is like a fraction, like you're comparing two quantities, equal to another fraction, you're comparing two quantities. So I'll show you through these examples how to approach these if you don't know already. If you can cut 2 lawns in 3 hours, how many lawns can you cut in 12 hours? Okay, now some of these ones you can just kind of figure out in your mind, but to keep it simple and to avoid making mistakes, let's do it like this. 2 lawns per just means divided by, right? 2 lawns divided by, or per 3 hours, okay, is equal to x, because we don't know how many lawns, per 12 hours. Now the thing I want to point out to you is that, see how I have lawns in the numerator, hours in the denominator? You don't want to switch these and say, well, lawns per hour, hours per lawns. You would get the incorrect answer. However, you could switch these both and say 3 hours for every 2 lawns, 12 hours per, number x lawns, right? The key is to have the same units in the numerators, right, and the same units in the denominators, so you're comparing apples to apples, right? So then what you would do is you would cross multiply, okay, like this. So 2 times 12 is 24 equals 3 times x, okay, and if you divide both sides by 3, you can see that x equals 8. So all we did was cross multiply to get rid of the fractions, then divide to solve for x, and you can double check. 8 twelfths reduces to 2/3, and so you can see 2/3 equals 2/3. Okay, one last example here. In a survey of 100 students in your school, 40 bring their lunch, right? So you just take like a little subset of your school. You say, do you bring your lunch? Do you buy your lunch? Like that. And 40 out of 100, okay, bring their lunch. And it says how many students likely bring their lunch if there are 1,200 total students in your school. So you can see here, this is the total number of people in our survey. Here's the total number of people in your school. These are the number of people that bring their lunch, and we're trying to figure out how many likely bring their lunch out of the entire school. So that's the way surveying works. Instead of asking everybody, we get a representative subset, but this ratio should be the same as this ratio, and it forms a proportion. Now you can cross multiply and solve just like we did in this problem. Another option you can do is you can do like this. You could say, if I multiply the denominator by 12, I have to multiply the numerator by 12, because whenever you multiply or divide the numerator by something in a fraction, you have to do the same thing to the denominator to keep that fraction equivalent to the original fraction. So this is just a little shortcut. This is 1200. 40 times 12 would be, what is that, 480, right? But again, if you just prefer to cross multiply like a lot of students do, you can do that. You'll get the same result. So I hope you're enjoying this video series, and I hope you're going to utilize all these to boost your score on